I think everything is very deep in Yoga Vasistha, but this one is really very deep. Some of those our questions they can be answered. Yeah, give me a second. Okay. So how do we get enlightened, or how we realize that we are already enlightened? There is nothing to get enlightened at one level. It's a play of language. You can see that, right? My screen. Vasishta says the only way to cross this formidable ocean of world appearance is the successful mastery of the senses. No other effort is of any use. When one is equipped with the wisdom gained by the study of scriptures and the company of sages, and has his or her senses under his or her control, she realizes the utter non existence of all objects of perception. Rama, mind alone is all this, and when that is healed, this jugglery of world appearance is also healed. This mind alone, by its thinking facility, conjures up what is known as the body. No body is seen where the mind does not function. As the treatment of the psychological illness known as the perception of the object is the best of all treatments in this world. The mind creates a delusion. The mind produces ideas of birth and death, and as a direct result of its own thought, it is bound and it is liberated. Okay. I'm choosing this thing as to munch upon a little bit is that the first chapter was what? Despondency. Rama saw two very vital questions. Okay. What are the two very vital questions of human life? One is happiness. Whatever we do is all about happiness. Isn't it, Gurudev? It is Gurudev have simplified this knowledge so nicely. It's so amazing, right? Our course name is Happiness, Art of Happiness, isn't it? Happiness program. So what is the biggest quest in human life is one of the biggest quest of human life is happiness. Whatever we are doing is happiness. You coming to this session is also part of somewhere in subconscious mind. All the religion, technology, comfort, family, everything is seeking that. And what is the second most difficult question is death. A lot of us come to these sessions and all that where we had this, we have seen the death, we have saw that the mortality of the human body, and then seeking what is beyond that. My 70, 80, 90, 100, 120, maybe stretch it further, 150 years, then what? These two are the basic quest, that mortality and happiness. When we forget about death, we start chasing happiness. And when we remember about death, then all these questions of spirituality, spirit, knowledge, liberation, all that comes, isn't it? So first chapter is all about that. Is that what is the meaning of the life? What is the real happiness? And what is death? These are the two very essential questions. And if some of you remember original days of the courses, the first question was, when will you be happy and what you need to be happy? Very essential. Gurudev could have put anything else, but that is a very essential aspect. So first chapter, I'm relating with Gurudev's teaching here, trying to relate. I may be wrong. Please don't take it literally. Use your own understanding. It is just my own observation. And then Gurudev used to, like the part one goes, who am I, where am I, what am I, and all those things, right? That are you just is the body, seven levels of existence, right? That beyond body, what exists, right? So that is the first chapter. Then what was the second chapter? Behavior of a seeker. Now we got a little awakening, and then there were like few more things. I will bring that in a bit. But what is the behavior of the seeker, and what are the four gatekeepers of liberation? Anybody remembers what are the four gatekeepers of the liberation? Company of holy people, and self
Dispassion,
self
contentment,
effort, self effort, self inquiry, contentment, and company of holy people,
holy.
right? That is about this, and then was a lot like what behavior is expected. Then comes that how this drama started, right? The creation. The third chapter is about creation. Then the real stuff is start that oh how the one consciousness became oblivious to its own this thing. It started thinking, and then in that dreaming, and the dream that multiplicity started, and then all that various concept of time, space, everything, whatever came as a idea in that infinite consciousness, that started materializing. And then time is not constant, the story of Leela. Anybody remembers? We will do a flashback soon. And then okay, if it is an illusion, that was chapter 3, like it's, or you can say it's like a dream-like thing, right? Okay, fine, it is a dream-like thing. Then why this dream persists? That is the fourth chapter. Sustenance, right? Because okay, you see a dream, but why this dream is sustaining itself? Why we every day we wake up and we see the dream? So the fourth chapter is about sustenance of that dream-like impression or this thing. Now we have read it. I don't know whether you guys are doing your homework and reading the book or not. I think some of you are not reading the book. Yes or no? Okay, if you are reading it diligently, you will understand. But this is the sequence, right? First, the mumukshatva, the desire to know more, that starts from the quest, the self inquiry or inquiry, the nature inquiring what is happening. Then, second is about the behavior of a qualified seeker. Then, third was how this creation comes into the picture. Appears so real. And we are at the fourth chapter, the sustenance. Now, since it is the last chapter, last session, if this thing I start, this thing is that what takeaway is that? Like, what can prevent it? Okay, we started a dream, but why we go back into the dream again and again, right? So then says that only way is mastery of the senses. Okay, and no other effort is of any use. If your senses are running outward, the dream will continue, because fourth chapter keeps talking about this creation is because of our mind, imagination of the mind, or the projection of the mind. And the projection of mind continues. And what senses do? Senses give enough food to continue that perception. Isn't it? You go and keep talking similar kind of thing. What happens is that it gives enough food to have a certain kind of perception. And then you see the world become colored in that perception. I think it's a very beautifully explained here. Okay. Here. Yeah. Here it says, right? After the exposition of the true nature of world creation, I shall deal. This is the fourth part, right? I shall deal with the exposition of the true nature of sustenance of this world appearance. Only as long as the delusion of this world appearance lasts, is there this existence of the world as an object of perception. So, this, like, as long as we see that world as object of perception, this world appearance continues. In fact, it is as real as a dream vision, for it is produced out of nothing by no one with no instrument on nothing. This world appearance is experienced only like a daydream. It is essentially unreal. It is painting on white like a color of rainbow. It is like a widespread fog. When you try to grasp it, it is nothing. Some philosophers treat it as inert substance, or void, or aggregate of atoms. You see that? This is the first. paragraph. Now, question is why this dream continues? Have you ever seen a dream you woke up and dream was so good and then you decided, oh, let me go back, it was so nice dream, let me keep watching that dream? Have you ever had that experience that you had such a fantastic dream as okay, alarm, right? Oh, I'm sleeping, okay, oh no, I don't want to get up, and you slip back into the dream? It happened. I hope, hopefully it happened to all of us, right? And many times you might be even successful to go back into the dream, the same dream. Have you successfully done that? Okay. The same thing we are doing in this waking state also. That the strong perception of the mind create this projection of the world appearance. And what happens? Since it is a strong perception, even though we transition between sleeping, waking, dreaming, or waking hopefully, then dreaming and sleeping, we continue into the same cycle because the perception leads to the continuous experience of or the projection of the world. Like just to simplify, and this thing is, it won't happen is that you one day you just realize, oh, it is all the dream, then what happens, everything is evaporated. Very likely it is not going to happen. It is just the clutches of the experience coming out of that reality or the figment of reality may change. Here that millions of universe appear in the infinite consciousness like specks of dust in a beam of light streaming in a room through a hole in the roof. But even such specks of dust are not to be seen in outside sunlight itself. The world is not seen in the supreme non-dual consciousness. That is because these universes are non-different from the infinite consciousness, even as one's nature is not different from oneself. Now, if you haven't been reading the book, you will have headache. It will not connect what it is talking. Okay. How, when I can see on Arti's face, yeah, it is right. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, millions of universes, no different, I think, right? It's a very simple thing, is right? In the Brahman or absolute, this thing, all these things are arising and falling, arising and falling. Time is also a concept, space is also a concept. Last week we did the fractal thing, right? Last to last week, right? It is just simply saying that nothing actually exists, it is just a projection. And we, as one of the experiencer, we are just seeing those projections. But when we understand that, oh, it is a projection, then the grip of this apparent reality starts loosening up, and then different dimensions open up. What are the different dimensions? At different states of understanding and awakening, we may have different experience. Hmm? Uh, have you heard about that? Like somebody got enlightened and all of a sudden they are totally different person. They are not the same personality. They start behaving very differently. They start seeing world very differently, right? That is what happened. Like there was a very solid set of perception in whatever, I wouldn't say unenlightened state, in certain state of existence, and all of a sudden awakening happened. Okay, it's all me. They start serving, they start doing charity because it is all me only. Now, since this figment is there, it has to finish its journey. Then they start serving, they start doing, because it is all extension of me. There is no subject object relationship because that collapses there. Okay? And that is very beautifully explained in these paragraphs. That is why I picked it. In one small atom, all the three worlds appear to be, with all their components like space, time, action, substance, day and night. In that there are other atoms in which there are other world appearances, just as there is a figure in uncarved marble slab, and that figure, which is marble, has a figure in its limb. So it is like ad infinitum, right? I think Sands compared this thing. Somebody watching themselves in a mirror and having another mirror, right? So it is infinite reflection of the same thing. So you continue that because it says that there is no space, there is no time. It is just the perception which gives this thing. But if you haven't been reading Yoga Vasistha, it will make zero sense. You will be feeling a natural urge to close your eyes and use spontaneous ujjayi and do meditation, which is sleep. Okay, so read it. But let's say this thing, something very very beautiful. I was reading. Let's see if I was able to. Uh, okay, we talked about all these things. Uh, okay, let's see. Each individual sees only those objects which are rooted in his own mind. When the ideas in the mind do not bear fruit, last time we had talked about this. There is a change in the mind. There follows a succession of births to suit those psychological changes. It is this physiological connection that creates a conviction in the reality of birth and death and in the reality of the body. When this conviction is given up, there is cessation of embodiment. Now, how we experience the world? Through this body. Just close your eyes for a moment. Okay. Just see that. Just close your eyes, take a couple of breaths in and out, and just visualize like there is a large screen before you and you are watching that screen. You are sitting and there is like a big scenery. It could be ocean, it could be whatever comes in your imagination. But see a very, very large screen and you are sitting and you are watching. And just visualize like when you are seeing something, sometimes you can see part of your body, your legs, your hands, sometimes maybe sometimes you see your nose and upper part of the frontal part of your face. Just visualize that. Now just take a step back and you see you visualize yourself also as part of the scenery. It's taking a step back. Everything is a scenery and this body is also a scenery. And just see, oh, your thought are also part of the scenery. Your emotions are also part of the scenery. Then who am I? Everything is a projection. My body is a projection. My emotions and feelings are projection. Then who am I? Take a deep breath in and let go. Another deep breath in, let go. Okay, you can see that. If you take a step back, step back, step back, everything becomes a scenery. Even this body and emotions and thought are part of the scenery. But read this portion a little bit more. When the self is seen as an object, the seer is not seen. So we cannot visualize ourselves as an object. As long as the objective universe is perceived, one does not realize the self. So, as long as there is a strong perception about the external universe, it is difficult to understand the true nature. This is what it is trying to say. When you see the mirage as water, you don't perceive the rising hot air. But when you perceive the hot air, you don't see the water in the mirage. When one when one is the truth, the other is not. You see that? Either you can see mirage or you can see hot air. You cannot see both. The same thing is if you believe in the solidity of the physical world, it will be very difficult to see the reality as a imagination, figment of the projection or the mental projection. So something to ponder about, something to see. Oh, okay, I'm taking it very strong. That is why all these people are bothering me, event situation, right? But if I just start saying, oh, it is just extension of my perception, my mental impressions, my karma. Oh, all of a sudden a different freedom comes because then the world become the extension of us. Rather than we being a part of the world becomes a part of us, right? Something to experiment with. It is only when the division between the seer and seen is given up, only when the two are seen as one substance, that the truth is realized. It's amazing. I think we have to read it multiple times. Okay. How many times we get bothered with some person and some event because that is object, right? That is the scenery and you are the seer. But once that become part of us, you see, it is a different game altogether. It is something we need to just reflect a little bit. I'm not going to read it all the time, but just read it. This is very, very precious pointers here. And then it is very wonderful. Each jiva experiences within itself whatever and however it has given rise to within itself with the help of own's life force. So you are breathing, whatever perception you are feeding, that is how is the world created for our own self. And then there are beautiful thing, if you read it more clearly, how the Brahman across all of us, how this world perception overlaps. So my world perception, your world perception overlaps, and then we have this a shared apparent reality. It talks a little bit, yeah. It says, this world appearance is but a long dream which manifests everywhere, being the imagination of Brahma, the creator, and all others. The object thus born in creator's dream migrate from dream to dream, from embodiment to embodiment, thus generating the illusory solidity of this world appearance. This dream-like appearance is yet true during the period of dream itself. This is the answer. Like many times we say, okay, if everything is my imagination, what are you doing in my world? And how I am part of your imagination. Something, if you read it carefully, it may give you a pointer. And the last thing, time, space, action, and matter are all but different aspects of one infinite consciousness, and consciousness experiences them within itself, whether it happens to be the body of creator Brahma or that so all that is nothing but a different aspect of that one consciousness. Okay. Okay, there is very beautiful one more thing. Uh, okay, let's see. Okay. Yeah. This is what Gurudev keeps telling. Like in silence course also, there is this thing that you remember about someone, right? You like, you feel different vibration. You remember about someone you hate, you feel different vibration. And he says that, right? Whomsoever you put your attention, we slowly upon their appearance as Vishuka, whatever type of contemplation they adopt, they soon become the same nature. So wherever we put our mind start taking that type of nature. They who are devoted to gods reach the gods. They who adore the demigods attain the demigods. They who contemplate the absolute Brahman become Brahman. Hence, one should resort to that which is not limited, conditioned, or infinite. So wherever we put our attention, our reality starts taking that shape and form. Okay. So that is why taking the attention to enlightened master, remembering your guru, remembering that higher forms, that makes a very material shift. So this is where I will stop with this message is that wherever we put our attention, because this world is nothing but imagination of our mind. If we focus our nature of our mind on right kind of teaching, right kind of beings, it slowly starts shifting within that type of reality. And that is how things take a shift, that reality start unveiling. If we put our focus on the enlightened being, of course, if we follow this theory, and if this theory is correct, our mind will start behaving like a mind of enlightened being. So that is why keeping attention on the holy people or enlightened people shifts our mind into the state of enlightened being. I'll stop it here, and we will do a quick recap of few of the things which we have discussed in part of chapter 1, 2, and 3. Let me know if you are able to see that, right? You're able to see that, right? What was chapter 1? Dispassion. So, in chapter 1, Rama went through the reality of various aspects of human life: relationships, wealth, span, egotism, mind, various craving, nature of the body, different phases of the life, enjoyment, the nature of the time, and the action, krutanta. Okay. And then he realizes that the existence is pretty cruel. Okay. Nothing is stable. No relationship you can anchor on. Wealth is fleeting. Egotism can take you for a ride. Mind is completely like made of a lot of impure stuff, and it is fleeting. Cravings are merry-go-round. They never give the fulfillment. They just give the idea of fulfillment. This body is changing, and it is filled with so many substances, and eventually it gives up. Different phases of the life, every phase of life promised perfection, but it never gave perfection. It has its own misery. Enjoyment, it is like lunatic, right? You cannot hold on to any enjoyment. They are very temporary, and then they leave. Krutanta, then action, and how time is so merciless, right? This is what chapter 1. Chapter 2 was behavior of the seeker. It starts asking how this diversity arises, how this creation happens. Then we talked about self effort, like how important is the self effort. Then it says there is nothing called fate. Do not anchor on this idea of fate. Then it tells that laziness is the worst enemy. Right? Don't think things will happen on its own. Give up laziness, get up, do your sadhana, seva, satsang. That is very important. Then we all have latent tendencies. So you see that right now you are feeling very good, but there are latent tendencies. Like all our 5-year-old kids are angels, but as they go to 15 year, you know what happens? That those latent tendencies became potent tendencies, and then you know what happened? Action. Okay. I'll share this with all of you, right? Then there are 4 gatekeepers of liberation. We talked about self control, very, very important, right? A spirit of inquiry: who am I? What am I? Where am I? Right? Very, very important. Contentment. If we go with all this hankering and feverishness, even achieving a spiritual goal, life is merry-go-round. Then satsanga, company of the holy and enlightened people. We talked about this. And then it says, contentment is the supreme gain. Satsang is the best companion to the destination. The spirit of inquiry itself is the greatest wisdom. And self control is supreme happiness. Then let's see what is next. That's it. Okay. There is a third chapter also. I will send that. So in this version, I have these. Third chapter was about creation, how creation comes into the picture. Fourth one, we did it. So I'll send a PPT, the similar. I'll add up to the fourth chapter for your good note keeping. But notes are never useful. Whatever goes here and here is useful. Okay. So I will pause here. I'll ask you to close your eyes, yeah, for a couple of minutes and reflect upon your journey in last 14, 15 weeks, right? Though we had 11 sessions, but we took maybe 13, 14 weeks. And if we're reading Yoga Vasistha, we are at chapter 4. There are two more big chapters are left. Hopefully, we'll be able to do it in coming days. But just reflect, did it make any change, any material change in your own life, in your own thinking? Did it give you any different perspective? Was it worth coming together every week, spending 1.5 hour, occasionally 2 hours on contemplating on some of these teachings, ideas? Did it shift something inside or not? And then you might have some questions also, right? So think about any questions you have, which you will feel okay sharing that, asking that. And whenever you are feeling complete, we can open our eyes. Okay, so now a free flow discussion for next few minutes before we say each other good luck until we meet next. And if possible, switch on your videos. It is always good to see all of you. Okay. Anybody has any question? You can unmute. Go for it.
Like we are all in like time, no questions coming.
Okay. That means it was super confusing. Very good. Okay, good, good. It serves the purpose. Okay. So if there is no question, then all courses end with the sharing of your experience. So you can take 30 seconds to think in your mind how was your experience from this session or like last 11 weeks of journey. Whatever comes, like whatever genuine unfiltered sharing comes, feel free to switch on your camera and just share very short, like 15-20 seconds. Yeah, my request will be keeping it short. Okay, shall we start experience sharing? Yeah,
So can I go first, Prabhat?
absolutely.
Yeah. So I really wanted to thank you for offering this course. I bought my book when I took my first silence course, and I opened it because it was suggested by my silence teacher, and silence teacher said that Gurudev has said one book in your life if I want to suggest to read is this book. So I bought the book right after the silence course, and I started reading, and it was very confusing. So I put it away. 2 years later, after I took your course, TTC, with you, um, then this course was offered, and I was like, okay, this is a sign from universe. I have to take this course, um, this crash course. And I'm so happy that I did. It came at a time in my life that a lot was going on, and I really needed this knowledge, this understanding. And uh, so I still have family in Iran. My siblings are there, and this war has been going on, and all the bombing, and there were a lot of times that we didn't know anything about where my family is, what's happening to them. A lot of killing was happening before that, but during this whole time I was reading these stories, and it broadened so much my perspective about life, and I've been so centered, so calm. The biggest story that really impacted me was the story of King Lavana, and it was very shocking and jarring, but at the same time very, very eye-opening for me. um and I've been telling it to my sister too, who's going again through a lot of things, and hoping that it helps her to alleviate a lot of like that burden that we put on our mind, and the world that we create around ourselves, and it gave so much understanding about my life, about pain and suffering. Um, I'm really, really grateful for that. Thank you so much for offering
Thank
this
you.
course. And this book now, I read it and now it makes so much more sense to me. In the beginning, I remember I just opened the book, I had headache. I couldn't, it was so confusing, but now I can go through it and I can, still there's so much more for me to learn. And I haven't read the whole book, to be honest. I just read a few chapters, but some part of it and some of the stories, but it's been very, very eye-opening. I highly recommend it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And all the very best to your family. Hope they all stay safe.
Thank you. Yeah, they are safe. Thank God. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I can go next. So a huge thank you to Raji, you, Prabhatji, and to everyone. Like Masuma said, I've had the book and it was just so
Can you
confusing.
speak a little louder, Heta? Because
Yeah,
it was not
I
audible.
yeah, I had the book and I tried reading it earlier. I just couldn't. It was just too much. But this time around, I've been able to read more, though I haven't been reading regularly, but I've read more, and the way you explain things makes so much sense. One thing that stayed with me is, you know, the role you're taking your role too seriously because there's something going on and I can't make sense out of it, and at times I'm angry, I'm confused, and then this comes back to me. I'm taking my role too seriously. So thank you again, and I'm hoping to uh, finish reading this time up to chapter 4, and looking forward to the next set of sessions.
Thank you, Hetal, for joining. Okay, next, let's do fast. Who's next?
So this is the second round with you, and I'm coming to the conclusion that it feels better to know that we create our own perception of the world in our minds. And if we do that, we can change that. And so it gives me more of a sense of you don't feel as victimized by the world. It feels like, okay, if I just flip this a little bit, it changes. I can, and I've been doing this on a daily basis. It's like, there you go again. Oh, there you go again. And then it's as if it's not a sense of control. It's less a sense of feeling victimized by the world. That
Beautiful.
doesn't mean you have to like a lot of things that you see but what you can do is how you respond to it and what you let your mind do to you with it. There's a lot of bad behavior in the world right now. How do I choose to let that also affect me? There is also this feeling of, oh my God, can I be feeling happy right now when all this chaos is going on in the world? A guilt feeling. And then I'm reminded, be the change you want to see, be the change you want to see. So, and then tonight, it's a very interesting experience. You're going over the things that we went over last time, and I'm looking at all my scribblings in the book, and I'm going, aha. And there's this moment of like, ding, where the light bulb goes on, and you feel like it's almost like a little click, and then you go on right? And you can't even explain the click, but the click has happened. And then you just go on. And the click happens some internal place. It's very magical. So thank you for making these experiences possible for us.
That all you, but beautiful, beautiful sharing. Thank you, Vicky. Yes. Okay, who is next? Let's do it fast.
I'll go. I have this sense, I was trying to think of the word. It's not exactly hunger, but it's awakened some sense of more interest and just being okay with asking questions, not having to have answers, maybe having to accept. I may never really understand. So that So that's that feeling of, I think, just interest. I turned 80 in January, and I've talked with some of my friends. I don't really feel any age, and I kind of get the sense, is that myself, that part of me that really, this is just like a costume I put on for this show or this body. And just kind of fun. I loved having the readings, just as being able to listen to some of the audio as well as the book, being able to have both of those. Because this is my first time. I came in the second week and I begged to get in, and I'm so thank you whoever let me in. So anyway, it's been a great course. So thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Okay, next.
So I'll go. Um, so yeah, thank you so much, Prabhaji, Raji, Sid, everybody who's contributed to this. It's a feeling of just being carried. And I feel like I'm just floating, in this knowledge and being carried by, you and Raji and I'm just trying to like lightly absorb it, because if I think too hard, it's coming over my head, but like whatever I am able to absorb, I am seeing the impact of it. Like definitely, like Vicky was saying, like things don't affect me as much, like I'm just like, okay, I'm not getting along with my sibling, so much drama, this, that, but whatever, so it's like I don't need to get so caught up in the negativities of whatever is happening, because anyways everything's just a dream, and I have control because nothing is really happening anyway. So it just kind of like is slowly seeping in, um and I need a little bit more diligence to get into the book, so it's really helpful that you guys are reading it with us. So it really brings it to life, so thank you.
Thank you, Monica. Okay, next.
Yeah, Jai Gurudev, Prabhaji, Raji, thank you so much for setting up this whole series for us. And I wasn't very sure if I'm going to come in and join, but there was a video that I forgot his name, Naveen. Yeah, when he said, he explained so beautifully of like, it was very transforming and whatnot. And so it made me sign up. And to be very honest, I don't think I gave my 100% to the Yoga series. I got the book even before the class started. Maybe like I read like a couple of pages. Um, and there is a lot more to catch up. And if you ask me takeaway, I know like, there is a much bigger wisdom that we should kind of, go behind, and that I have not even started looking into. So that's the takeaway, and to be in this company. And whenever like I come join these sessions, I do not know what is going in my mind, but definitely feel more lighter. And somewhere like I read, it honestly took me like 7, 8 silences to at least understand what is like hollow and empty. So I'm just taking Yoga Vasistha the same way. It is going to take me several more sessions to really prepare myself to this knowledge. So I'm letting this session go as a cleansing one. And I do not had any expectations, to be honest. And it was very good to know, even Rama, we only knew him as a god, right? And we were like, he was born with all the noble qualities and he did not had any issues. But to know that, you know, he himself was very frustrated at life and he had a guru to walk him through his life and to reach the enlightened state, who are we? And so happy to have our Guruji. And this time when I did the Ram Navami celebration, I put the Yoga Vasistha book near Lord Rama, and uh, none of us in the family know like what is Yoga Vasistha, who is Vasistha even. But this time, like I felt like I had some more knowledge of who is Rama, who is Vasistha, and things of that sort. I really appreciate all these efforts. It takes a lot of time outside of Prabhaji's work, Raji's work to, give this knowledge to us. And yeah, thank you for that upliftment. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Thank you, Aarti. Okay, who's next? Mhm.
I can go if okay. Um, Thank you so much for initiating all this. Raji, I think uh, you know you've been phenomenal as well. And Prabhaji, I just wanted to extend another level of I'm not able to find the right words, but just um, that space that you held in spite of all of whatever happened in your personal life, and you brought the richness associated with that as well. So I think I can probably speak on everyone's behalf that we're all very grateful for your for just for you have break like for you to like break down everything and highlight and do what you do. And of course Raji and Sid, that took over when they needed to. um in terms of just the personal narrative piece, there have been times where I have questioned myself, and I don't know whether to say it in a anyway, doesn't matter, labeling doesn't matter, but I'm like, really, Kaivalya, you chose to be calm in that situation? Like, those moments were like so surprising in hindsight, because a younger Kaivalya would have like definitely chosen something different. And I think that uh, and I'm taking the liberty to say the next part. Sorry, but oh my god, the amount of hammering you've done in like it's a dream, it's a dream, it's a dream, it's a dream. I don't think anyone is going to forget it very easily. And I think it just like sources back to Gurudev, right? Like he just says it so casually. Oh, it's a dream. So it's just so wonderful to see it in very many different layers, experience it, keep it, bring like feel lucky and blessed to have that awareness that, oh, I'm catching, it's a dream, whatever momentary it is, or however how much ever we can hold on to. So and with that, I'm just gonna say a thank you to the company as well, that this is all a dream, we are all a part of whatever dream it is, and hope we all continue to uh, just go through the different layers of the dream, and like feel loved in this good consciousness and good company that we all have the very fortunate opportunity of. Thank you.
Thank you, Cavalier. Okay, who is next? Come on, everyone, share quickly, 15 seconds. I see. A lot of Art of Living teacher, they don't stop talking. Now they're not talking.
I'll
Okay.
go next. I think Prabhaji, thank you so much, and Raji also. Thank you so much for this. This was my third session. The first time went totally over my head. I had no idea what it all was. Second, I got a little better. This time I'm a little less confused. We did the chapter 4. It was so mind blowing. I'm still reading on that chapter 4 in this session. But another thing is I was not my 100%. There was other stuff going on in my life, so I was not able to read a lot. Generally, I'm able to read a lot, but I was not. But it was still there was so many things got reiterated back, like what had gone before it starts reiterating, and when we apply in our life, it really makes a big difference, right? Like as everyone is sharing, and so much happened in Raji your life too, and Raji also stood up and she held the sessions, so it was like such a teamwork in the whole thing. I was very, very grateful for this, and I can't wait for the next session to start whenever you guys have time. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, who's next? Quickly. Yes, go ahead.
I can go next, Prabhaji.
Go ahead.
I'll just